What's up? Homestead Handyman here. I thought maybe you'd like to come into the shop and have a look around. I'll give you a little tour of my shop that I'm blessed to have. Come on, let's go. Alright, so welcome. My shop is 16 by 36 feet and it has approximately 12-foot ceiling on it. A concrete slab on the bottom. The walls are all insulated and the ceiling, it's heated with wood and it's cooled by a window air conditioner that I put in the wall, and that's I think a 1-ton unit. So what I thought I'd do is just give you a little tour around at all the different things and the aspects that I've put in here that make it comfortable for me. If you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments below about any specific things, and maybe it's something that you want to add to your shop, or maybe a suggestion for me what to do better, because that's how I slowly build up my tools and lots of ideas and everything is from you guys. Alright, let's get started. Toolbox here that has a lot of mechanical tools, quick access out the door when I'm working on cars or anything around that needs to be done. I have over here I have a little workbench that was an old Formica cabinet, and then a bunch of hand tools up here, and this is where I do a lot of just small repairs. Things are handy, and so that's that type of stuff. Household repairs, whatnot. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, I have a first aid kit handy there, and a flashlight right by the door. I like to keep all these things handy. Hand planes in the corner, and just all these assorted hand tools. That's my router bits over there, and there's a separate vacuum for when I'm doing projects that are in that area. So that's a little bit of an overview of what I like to keep there. Now over here at the router table, above that I have all the cordless drills and impact drivers and tools that I use all the time. I really enjoy having those cordless tools handy in the shop. Of course, you got your howdy y'all, and alright, this is my miter saw station that I just recently built, and I just love it. I've always wanted to have one, and I finally got around to building it. I did a video about that, so you could check that out. I used some old cabinet that I found at a Goodwill, and then from there I took it apart and used a lot of the pieces and parts off of it. What I like about this is I put a switch down below in there above that trash can, and so I turn that on and it automatically turns on the vacuum cleaner. And then I have a nice little bin right here handy to put all the little scraps in as I start to cut. The Craig system on the top here on both sides, you can see down there, and have 2 stops on it, and so it works great. Love my DeWalt saw right here, sliding, and it has the dust collection. It stays pretty good. Had an old lamp, and was throwing it away and used a plastic bottle and made a little pencil holder to keep them handy. And then I just keep everything handy right here that I need for cutting. I just recently acquired this little lamp here, and that is very helpful to see things up close, especially splinters. So I keep sandpaper down here, all the cutoffs over here, which I have to clean up, more cutoffs, and then some more drawers with more storage on here. So I'm really liking this, and it's working really well for me. So above the miter saw, I have these lumber storage racks that I use to store lumber that I'm going to use on an upcoming project. So I bring it in here so it can acclimate for a week or so to the shop temperature. Over here I have this tool that's just absolutely great when you have to do pocket hole cutting. And I'll do a video about that and show you how wonderful that thing works. It works with 2 routers inside. Have a nice little oscillating sander over here. And of course, underneath, I got my firewood station to keep me nice and toasty, with the wood stove being right there, nice and close. And we got a mortiser down there, a hollow chisel mortiser that I picked up a long time ago, and it works really well when I need that type of a tool. And of course, here's my my newly started sticker swap, and I got to put up more stickers. Just got a whole load, but really enjoy doing that. So back in this area, I keep a lot of storage of items, all my stains and finishes and some automotive stuff, paints, tools. I have my sander here that works, drum sander that works fantastic. And then storage of all the tools. I have these tools right here, are old ones that I've had, and so I use those for outdoors. And assorted goodies coming down. Nail guns and corded tools, which I don't use as much if I don't have to. Okay, over in this corner I have my Laguna 1412 bandsaw, which I absolutely love, and you can cut anything with it, from with a little tiny blade to a nice resawing blade, and I've cut a lot of stuff with that. I have all my chisels over here for wood turning for my lathe, and this is a separate dust collection for this unit right here. Got the drill press in the corner with all the drill bits and everything handy right there. Air conditioning, another lumber storage rack, and then I have a loft on either side. And up there I have the ever important stereo speakers, which must be blasted loudly with good rock and roll. So I have a lot of storage up there. Also moving along, you can see there's the TV area, so I can watch YouTube videos. Have a Delta lathe sitting right here. Have my jet joiner. All the clamps here. This is some of the clamps storage. More goodies stored up above. Very large pipe clamps for when I'm making some tables and stuff to help put a breadboard end in. I got the soldiers. I have another dust collection over here. And this one is for the table saw, and also use that for when I'm using the planer. Built a little adjustable rack that goes over the top there so I can walk through, and it comes down to the table saw. Have another vacuum here. I have a lot of vacuums because I like to keep it nice and clean. This is my armor assembly bench. I really like this thing. It's mobile, as everything in my shop has wheels on it, so I can move everything around as I need to. This is really cool. The height is adjustable, so I like it nice and tall when I'm working on things and assembling. And you don't really need a lot of other clamps. I have quite an assortment. I built a board down on the bottom with dog holes in it so that everything mounts on there. And I'll show you how that whole system works some other time. In the center, I have this workbench here, which I do a lot on, and that moves around. Keep my Handyman tools just hanging right there, ready to go outside or whatever. Got a nice vise on here, and I use this quite a bit. Alright, this is my table saw setup here. This white piece that you're seeing there flips up for when I'm ripping long pieces of lumber. I have a dust collection set up on the top. I also use a power feeder on here, Shop Fox, so that I can feed all the lumber in, and it keeps it flat, and it keeps it up against the fence, and it keeps my fingers away from it when I'm doing a bunch of work. And I have that mounting plate right there that also I can just take the 2 bolts out and move it to wherever I want to. If, for instance, I'm over here and I put the fence up and I'm doing some routing work and I have a lot of work to do. So this is a very handy tool. This is an old Delta, probably from the 19, yeah, maybe. And I have a setup down below with all my blades in here. I have a Beastmeyer fence on there, and I just love this setup. Now you might be asking, what the heck is this pole here for? Well, I had this pole around here and it was in my way, and so one day I just decided to stick it right there and put a clamp up there, and I just like the way it looks, so it's easy to take down. And I don't really do any plywood work hardly, so it's not that I need the width on the table saw. Alright, over here what we have is I have solar on my shop also, and so my lighting and all of my battery recharge is all done through the solar system. So that's really nice. Not enough to like really run power saws and and all the stuff that pulls such high amperage, but enough to work for me and to do a really nice job having the solar. Alrighty. Okay, this is my hardware store, and I have a collection of a little bit of everything. Don't forget, we have a homestead here, and we built our own house and did everything ourselves, and so I've acquired a lot of things in that process. So I have all sorts of goodies because you just never know what you're going to need. And since we're a good ways away from the hardware store, well, there you go. Now over here is my jet planer. It's 3.5 horsepower, 16-inch, and I love that thing. It's a beast. Moving along here to the other end, we have this nice little Raycon sander, and I put another vacuum underneath, a little Porter cable, so this thing moves around on wheels, and it has its own vacuum system. Also have my tanks here chained up for the welder. And so that pretty much concludes the tour of my workshop. Oh, wait a minute. Almost forgot. You see, I got important things handy. You got to keep your fishing poles handy and selection of hats. Oh, and there is a BB gun for varmints, because we have plenty of those around the homestead. So I hope you have enjoyed the tour of my workshop. And if you want me to do any more in-depth type videos of tools or anything that might be of assistance to you, just let me know. And I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Or if you have a request, to do some more videos for you of the tools. This is the Homestead Handyman, out.